Good evening, everyone. Here is Geraldo Lemos Neto from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I'm here with Marco Gandra at the Portal Saber Espiritismo, and we are going to talk about uh, the continuation of the law of destruction and the planetary transition. We are broadcasting live from Belo Horizonte, as I said, to Spiritism dissemination, to Discovery Spiritism Network, DSN, and also for Kardec Radio in the US. You are all very welcome. This is the program to know Spiritism number 16, and we are continuing to talk about the last book of Allan Kardec, the Genesis, miracles and predictions according to Spiritism. In the last chapter of this book, the one that is called The Time Has Come, Signs of Time, chapter 18, the subtitle The New Generation, which is from items 20 forward. And today we are going to talk about the items 28 to 30, the new generation. And of course, Allan Kardec is talking about the exile. In the item 28, he said, "It is not to be understood by this emigration of spirits that all those stranglers will be expelled from earth and relegated to inferior worlds. On the contrary, many of them will return because they surrendered to the influence of circumstances and bad example. In them, the appearance was worse than the essence." He is telling us that many of the spirits that are deviating from the good, from the heart, the good feelings, the good thoughts here on earth, they are not in essence evil. The appearance of the bad things or the evil is more what can be shown by them, but in essence they are just ignorant spirits, and so that not all of them will be expelled from earth. They are laggard spirits, retarded in the evolution pathway, but many of them, as they discarnate, as they go to the other life or the spiritual plans, they can be illuminated, enlightened by new ideas, so that not all of them will be part of this emigration of the exile. Allan Kardec also states, once free from the influences of matter and the prejudice of the body world, most of these spirits will see things quite differently from how they saw them in life, which is in keeping with numerous examples. As I told you, most of them can see differently the things about the spirit, the reality of life after death, the reality that we are in an evolution process, the reality that we must be in a world of fraternity, solidarity, we must love each other. So they can be illuminated after the death because they are away from the influences of the matter, and especially they are away of the circumstances that made them go in the wrong pathway. And, and Allan Kardec also says, in this case, they are helped by the benevolent spirits who take an interest in them and rush to enlighten them and show the wrong path they had taken. So it's very important to know that the benevolent spirits will take care of them, or will take care of all of us in this case, if we are in a wrong pathway. And that's very comforting, right? Also, Allan Kardec says, through our prayers and exhortations, we can ourselves contribute to their improvement, because there is a perpetual solidarity between the dead and the living. So the higher plans of the spiritual life, which is the home for this kind of benevolent spirits that take care of us, that through their prayers and exhortations, they contribute to us enlightenment, to our enlightenment, to our improvement. And this is a very neat revelation, that there is a very special solidarity road between all the plans of life here on earth, the higher spiritual plans towards here, the lower ones, the crust, the earth crust, the shadows, and the dark plans. And Allan Kardec also tells us that the manner in which transformation operates is very simple, and as it turns out, it is all moral and stands among the laws of nature. So there is a very powerful inspiration process coming from the higher plans, the benevolent spirits towards our lives here on earth, and this is a very natural process, the process that they inspire us so that we can transform ourselves in better persons. In the item 29 of this part of the book, Allan Kardec also states that the spirits of the new generation, be newcome better spirits or old spirits that had improved, the result is the same. From the moment they present better disposition, it is always a renewal. Incarnate spirits thus form two categories according to their natural dispositions, according to their natural dispositions. On one hand, departing laggard spirits; on the other hand, the arriving better spirits. The state of habits at one society, then, among one people, one ethnicity, or worldwide, will depend on the category of spirits that prevail in their midst over the other. So Allan Kardec now is telling us about the big picture of the process of the exile and the substitution of the spirits. The laggard spirits are being removed are being sent away to inferior worlds, to worlds of more primitive living, so that they can uh, be in the process of evolution in other places according to their sentiments, to their affinity, and also to their thoughts. In the other hand, we start receiving a better flux of spirits, more mature, more uh, preparated, more inspired by the good feelings, the good thoughts, and also new ideas. And this process of the new generation also that doesn't only concern about the newcomers or the better spirits that are reincarnating from higher plans, because it can also uh, concern the spirits, the old spirits, the ones that are being improved, the ones that in the item before, the item 28, Allan Kardec told us that they can be enlightened after death and stay on earth after this enlightenment. So it doesn't matter if the new generation be of newcomers, better spirits, or old spirits that had improved. The result, Allan Kardec is saying, is the same. The result is that the new generation will transform Earth. And of course, they present those spirits, both spirits, the newcomers, the better spirits from other worlds or other plans, higher plans, and also the old spirits that had improved themselves in the spiritual plan, that and after that they incarnate, and uh, they both present better dispositions towards a new time, towards a new kind of living here on earth that we call the regenerative moment for earth. And we can also, according to Allan Kardec, see that in this moment of transition, we can see both kinds of spirits living here on earth, and of course, in a kind of conflict of ideas, conflict of positions, of understanding the world, the life, and so on. And the state of habits of one society, among one people, or one ethnicity, or even the worldwide, will depend of the category of the spirits that prevail in their midst. So we have to be to pay attention what kind of people or what kind of group of spirits, incarnate or discarnate, we are connecting to. It's easy to recognize one from another group. And Allan Kardec also continues to explain that, to simplify the matter, suppose a nation to any degree of advance is made up of 20 million souls, for example. He's giving us an example. A nation or a people or some place that has 20 million souls. The renewal of spirits is accomplished according to extinctions, whether isolated or in mass. So that's the first time Allan Kardec is telling us about the problem of the cataclysms, and they occur in every nation, of course, with different dispositions and different happenings. One nation, for example, can have earthquakes. Other nation can uh, feel the effects of a volcano or a tsunami or even a plague or, all kinds of mass extinctions, even cases where they are isolated or even a mass case of extinction. And we are not also disregarding the problems of wars, revolutions, because they are also can be considered as cases of extinctions. And in this case, Allan Kardec is telling us that the divine providence uh, utilize this kind of events to improve the renewal of the spirits. So the laggard spirits can be removed from Earth in those mass extinctions, whether isolated or in great groups of people. In and in the other hand, they are substituted for newcomers from higher planes, or even for the ones that after death can be enlightened for, with the instructions of the benevolent spirits. Kardec also completes this thought by telling us there is necessarily a time when the generation of laggard spirits prevails in quantity as compared to advanced spirits, which have only a few powerless representatives, and then the efforts to make good prevail and renewing ideas would be paralyzed. So in the first time of this kind of evolution of this society, uh, the the laggard spirits, they are the ones that prevail, and they are more uh, they live more in all kinds of visuals, thoughts and feelings, all kinds of problems with violence, with crimes, with wars, and also they are very uh, in living in a way of egoistic feelings and also full of pride, full of vanity, all kinds of characteristics that implied they are from a group of laggard spirits, that they are more materialistic beings, and they don't care so much for the spirit and the spiritual world. So in this first moment, they prevail. And even the first advanced spirits that incarnate among them, they are powerless. Their representatives cannot do any much of a transformation. But as time goes by, the process of renewal of spirits is happening through mass or isolated extinctions, and after that also the problem of the death of a whole group of people that can be easily substituted, and the new ones, the ones that become to come to be born again here on earth, they receive spirits more advanced, and so that in a way, the time passing, there will be a different moment where we can see a balance from those two groups of ideas and sentiments. And Allan Kardec then, please, Gandra. And Allan Kardec tells us Now some departing, others arriving after a given time, the two forces are balanced and their influence counterbalanced. So we uh, are now feeling another time where the two big groups have a power influence in the society. The new ones, the advanced spirits that are eager to fulfill their goal of justice, of good, of fraternity, solidarity. Uh, Also, they are working to improve science, to improve a better way of living for everyone. They are acting in all all fields of science to new discoveries, and they are acting also in all kinds of religions and all kinds of groups of philosophers to all kinds of also artistic environment to inspire a new world. And they are counterbalanced. The both groups, the laggard spirits, incarnated or not, and the newcomers, the advanced spirits, incarnated or not, they have a kind of conflict, but they all influence the society. Later, newcomers will be in the majority, and their influence becomes preponderant, although still hampered by that of the first ones. So there will be a moment where the newcomers, the more advanced spirits, will prevail. They will have the majority and they will influence all kinds and all grounds of government, of the society, of entrepreneurial, of university, of science, of philosophy, religion, everywhere. And this is very comforting. Kardec complete his thought. These continue to diminish, the laggard spirits. They continue to diminish while the others multiply. So the newcomers, the advanced spirits multiply, and the laggards eventually disappear. That's a very important moment. That's, of course, is in our future. It's not happening yet. We are more in the process of counterbalancing the two forces. And I believe after the deadline, according to Chico Xavier, of July 2019, we are now feeling the majority of the good spirits, of the advanced spirits, even in the spiritual plans and here on earth. And from now on until 2057, there will be a time that those spirits will prevail in their good feelings and good hearts, and also good thoughts about the future. Thus will come a time, Kardec completes, when the influence of the new generation will be unique. But this can only be understood by admitting the spiritual life independent of the material life. We can only understand that by the influence and the, the all the planification, all the instructions that we receive from higher spirits, from benevolent spirits that are acting to the name of Jesus our Lord and to the name of God to help us. and this is very, very much important. We thank you for being with us. We'll stop our program now, and we'll be continuing that next week on Wednesday, and invite all of you to continue to study this very important subject with us and Allan Kardec. Thank you so much. Don't forget to share this program. You can have it through DSN, Discover Spiritism Network, also Spiritism Dissemination, and also through the channels of Kardec Radio from Virginia, USA. Have you all a good night. See you later. Bye-bye.